On the other side of the continent, millions of winged creatures are about to embark on another huge migration. It is one of the world's most spectacular mass movements, undertaken by one of its tiniest and most delicate creatures, the monarch butterfly. Instantly recognizable, a regal symbol of beauty and transformation. Its migration is an intergenerational odyssey. Each autumn, monarch butterflies migrate from their summer homes in southern Canada and the northern United States to spend winter in warmer climates. As summer comes in Nova Scotia's Annapolis Valley, on Canada's east coast, a female is looking for the right spot to settle down. She's looking for just the right plant, the milkweed. She's ready to lay her eggs, up to 1,000 of them. As a caterpillar, the monarch doesn't stray far from the plant where it was laid. The caterpillar is voracious, eating its own body weight in milkweed leaves every day. The milkweed gives the caterpillar a toxic taste that stays with it for life and keeps predators away. The caterpillar feasts for about 3 weeks, growing so fast it sheds its skin 4 times. Now, the caterpillar seeks out a horizontal branch to begin its final transformation. It spits out silk from its lower lip, creating a mat on the branch. Then, 2 of its back legs forge together, creating one appendage. Tiny hooks latch onto the silk mat like Velcro. Once its skin begins to peel, it's only a couple of minutes before it sheds its 5th and final layer of caterpillar skin. The pale shell is a hard exoskeleton called a chrysalis. The very cells comprising the caterpillar's body break down into a stewy goo and then reform. A week or so later, the transformation is complete, and the butterfly inside is ready to emerge. Free from its chrysalis, the butterfly hangs for hours until its wings fill with blood, dry, and stiffen. If this butterfly were born in summer, it would live 6 more weeks, during which time it would breed, lay its eggs, then die. But this is an autumn butterfly. So after all this, it still has a migration of thousands of kilometers ahead. As August turns to September, the monarch butterfly from Nova Scotia begins its long trip south. At first, it is a solitary voyage. Individual butterflies gradually fluttering their ways southwest. But eventually, it joins 150 million others, the great-great-grandchildren of those that flew north the preceding spring. Remarkably, They make the incredible journey in a state something like hibernation in other animals. It's called diapause, a slowing down of the metabolism. It allows a single monarch to live long enough to make the entire trip south. The migration path follows a corridor determined by flowering nectar plants, air currents, and climatic conditions. Research suggests the butterflies use an internal compass to navigate, an operation involving both their eyes and antennae. Their eyes watch the sun's position in the sky, which changes throughout the day. Their antennae contain an internal biological clock to determine the time. The butterfly's tiny brains compare those two pieces of information to determine which direction is southwest. They can be blown off course easily, but gradually reorient themselves. Monarchs fly at speeds of 24 to 40 kilometers per hour, overnighting together in clusters called roosts. Landforms like mountains and coastlines gradually funnel the scattered individual butterflies together as they get closer to their winter homes. The destination for some butterflies is California's coastline. Our butterfly from Nova Scotia will flutter further south to the Oyamel fir forests of Mexico. The arrival of the monarchs in Mexico's interior highlands coincides with an annual celebration, Dia de Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Traditional folklore says the monarchs represent the souls of the deceased, returning to the earth for the celebration. By December, monarchs cover the trees. It's not the riot of color you might expect, because only the monarch's dull outer wings are exposed. A monarch butterfly weighs less than a gram, but they are so crowded, tree branches can creak and break under the weight of tens of thousands of butterflies. The largest monarch overwintering sites are in Mexico and California, but smaller ones have been discovered in Arizona and Florida. Until 40 years ago, many of these places were a secret to everyone, except the butterflies. Now, a few of the biggest ones in Mexico are protected as World Heritage Sites. Nobody's quite sure how the butterflies chose these places, but it seems to be a combination of the right trees, climate, water supply, forest canopy, and isolation. The migratory butterflies live to be 6 months old, longer than any other generation of monarch. That's because they put off breeding, remaining in a state of perpetual adolescence. The butterflies cluster together to conserve heat. They stay in a state called quiescence, keeping still and conserving energy. Everything has to be just right for the monarchs to survive. If it's too cold, they will burn through their fat supplies and die. Unusually warm weather can stimulate them to breed and begin their northern migration too early, flying straight into the frosty northern winter. About half of all monarchs that arrive in the wintering grounds die before the return trip. Cold snaps and storms can kill millions more. In 2002, A snowstorm in Mexico killed 500 million monarchs, 3 times as many butterflies than the entire migration consists of today. Overall, the number of migrating monarchs is down by 75% in the last 25 years. But if everything goes just right, these monarchs will stay here until March and then begin their part of the journey home.